Honey, I love you, but said I do.
You may be familiar with the show Family Feud, but you may not be familiar with the gentleman who was on this show by the name of Timothy Bleefnick. And you'll realize how haunting that statement actually was. The gentleman that you had just seen, like I said, was Timothy Bleefnick. And at the time that when they came on the show Family Feud, Timothy and his wife, Becky Bleefnick, were actually having marital problems. It was very strained. And Becky confided in multiple friends that Timothy was not only verbally abusive, but would also have shoving matches with his wife in front of the children. It was at this point that Becky, not long afterwards, had sat there and filed for divorce. Becky Bleefnick was a traveling nurse, and during the COVID-19 pandemic would actually travel around and try to help as many people as she can. She was really a true hero. And at the time of the divorce, it was a very rocky one, where she would tell her friends on multiple occasions that she feared for her life. She actually told one friend in a text message that if she actually went missing or anything ever happened, the key suspect should be Timothy. Around the time that the fighting for custody was going on, Becky had actually put on a restriction order not only on Timothy, but Timothy's father as well, saying that she feared for her and her children's lives at this time. It was at this time during the court that they had brought in a guardian ad litem to help them go through the custody battles. And at this point, the court had decided that because of how things were going, that each person, the only way they could exchange kids was they had to be within 5 feet of their vehicles. It was also known that at this point, Timothy had worked online under a fake alias on Facebook as John Smith, looking for several bicycles. And at this point in time, after purchasing these bicycles, there was a known bicycler in the area going around Becky's house around 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning. On one particular night, Timothy had custody of the kids, and he had contacted the school the next day that he would be actually picking up the children early. He then called Becky's father and asked her to check on Becky and make sure that she was able to pick up the kids. It was at this time that Becky's father came to her residence and saw nothing but pure carnage. Her door had actually been jammed open, and when he went in, he saw his daughter laying on the floor of the bathroom in a puddle of blood. It turns out that she had actually been shot 14 different times. The cops during the court case had brought evidence they had against Timothy that was not only damning but extremely incriminating. He had actually went online on Google, and some of his search history stated, how does one break open a door with a crowbar? How do I clean off residue off of a gun? And how to make a makeshift silencer pistol. Timothy Bleefnick was actually found guilty, and he was sentenced to 3 life sentences. As I said before, no one could have known it then, but the statements made by Bleefnick on that particular show was truly haunting.